Eventually, Phil made his way to Florida and finally back to Boston along with the rest of our family. His love for Gloucester, good lobster, clam chowder at the Ritz, and spare ribs from South Pacific never waned. He loved all of us most. When he became a grandfather, he was so proud. He would always say yes to eating ice cream with his grandchildren, and he insisted on calling my daughter Nora Eva and Habashi, which means life and breath in Hebrew, and was what my grandfather referred to my grandmother as. To all of you here who consider your family, Phil loved us all fiercely. So, you did it, Dad. We're so proud of you. Your spirit lives on in all of us. May you rest in peace. We love you.
There's not a lot more that I can add. My dad, he was the best dad. I love him so much, and he cared so much for everyone. And he had friends. Anyone he met that became his friend, whether it was in childhood or later on, was his friend for life. And that way of caring and loving for people was in all of his relationships, family and friends, and he had he was just known to be a person that cared so much about doing right in this world and living with integrity and honesty, and he's taught me so much about how to be in this world, and I love him.
I'm going to briefly reiterate some of the things that were eloquently said and add a word or two. I was very touched when Faye, Phil's sister, recalled Phil, the little brother, as a very small child. And she told me that he had an issue with his hip and walking. And yet no matter how much that caused him problems physically, he never stopped smiling, ever. He always smiled. He never, ever complained. And to me, that represented a fortitude, prophetically, that served him well in a life of memorable accomplishments. When I think of Phil Abrams, beyond the Renaissance spectrum of his gifts, brilliantly applied as a general contractor, an undersecretary of HUD for President Ronald Reagan, as well as appointed by him for the Holocaust Memorial Commission, a lawyer, a real estate developer, a mortgage originator. When I think of him as the fabulously loyal and endlessly generous friend, with friendships from high school and college days still cherished by all whose lives were thereby touched. His service, as mentioned, of 4 years, the United States Navy aboard the USS Enterprise. In all and far more, his passion for family, his political activism and interest, his belief in the benevolent power of government. I picture him in the context of the family with which I have interacted for many decades. His parents, Julie and Eva, Julie and his construction company, which Phil worked early on. Julie was gracious, empathetic, gentle. He came into my home those many years ago to improve some of its features. And he was followed by the late Ben, who warmly continued helping us out with some building issues. And through Lou Gorin, a blessed memory, astute, dignified, knowledgeable, creative. And of course our own Fable Gorin, as sweet and warm as her dad and her children who are here today. At many family events over which I presided, I picture Phil's strong, tall, and compelling presence. His relentless efforts to discover what made someone happy and do just that. Kids told me how when they moved to Denver, they loved Bruce Springsteen and they were adjusting to Denver. He got them great tickets for the boss's concert because he wanted to make everyone happy, beyond his kids. His insistence on the power of the free market, freedom for all, and empowering all to give them the wherewithal to choose. He gave out vouchers so they could have access to housing in the best school systems. His love of travel, and as mentioned, his real passion for family as a dad, a grandfather, a beloved friend and companion, an uncle, in all of his relationships. His loyalty, his generosity, his charismatic magnetism, and the dream of a friend that he was. Outspoken, but sensitive, progressive, optimistic. All encompass stellar qualities of mind, heart, and spirit that will resonate well into the future, resonate with an empowering mobility and stunning record of achievement that will remain a legacy both precious and priceless. The family shared with me that many years ago, maybe in college days, one of his friends needed something. He wrote that friend a blank check. The friend kept the check for 60 years and brought it back to the family. And I thought of that as a very important and significant metaphor. The fact that he wrote a blank check to a friend from college days suggested to me that he gifted us all with a carte blanche, replete with his goodness, his brilliance, his benevolent largesse, his proactive empathy, all astonishingly beautiful. Yehí Zichro Baruch, may his memory bless, strengthen, and empower us. Kindly rise for the memorial prayer.